Howdy! Welcome to the Whiskey Butler. I'm your host, Wesley Butler, here to serve you a little whiskey wisdom. We're on day 8 now. Gosh, I think we're on day 8. Yes! No! We're on day 7. Day 7 now. So we're a week into this thing, to this 12-day Advent. Very excited, had some special guests. We had a fire pit, everything. But today I am happy to invite, well, I guess I've already invited. I'm happy to say that my friend Josh, who you've seen in these episodes before, may have been arguing about baseball, so on and so forth, actually in the March Madness, but he's a veteran of these episodes, right? He's a veteran of these episodes. So I'd like to invite Josh to come on and join me here so we can talk about this next whiskey. No Santa hat?
No Santa hat.
No sweater? No tipsy... What's that website? Tipsy
Elves.
Tipsy Elves?
I have them, but they're not appropriate for his team. So.
Well, I appreciate you not getting me kicked off of YouTube.
You just would have had to NC-17 the footage, right?
Or blur out whatever was on your...
Or blur out.
Okay, yeah. All right, perfect. Okay, so here in this 12-day Advent, you've missed some fun as we've gone along. You actually were the topic of conversation in the Fire Pit episode when we were talking about Christmas movies. What is your favorite Christmas movie, by the way? Or, sorry, your favorite holiday movie?
So I have 2 different holiday-based favorites.
Here we go.
The movie that I watch first every year is not controversial, but people are going to wonder why I watch it first every year, and it's The Friday After Next, which is the Friday Christmas movie. I just think it's a good way to jump into holiday movies. My favorite, for sure, right now still is A Christmas Story, which is pretty much everyone's favorite, if not like Elf or otherwise. But there's a new one that's become kind of my new favorite.
Oh, the Lindsay Lohan one.
No, not the Lindsay Lohan
one. Oh, my bad.
One.
Sorry.
It's called The Man Who Invented Christmas, and it's about Charles Dickens writing The Christmas Carol. And that one's actually really good.
The Man Who Invented Christmas.
It's very good.
Is it streaming, theaters?
It's streaming on Amazon for a while. I'm not sure where it is now. Maybe on Disney or something like that.
Okay.
But it is very good. It's well done. It's with one of the people from Downton Abbey. So, of course. Dan Stevens? Is that Dan Stevens?
I have absolutely no idea. I've never heard of this Downton Abbey show that you talk about. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding out there. I have actually heard of it. I mean, I've seen it, but I've heard of it. And there was a movie. One movie, or there's 2 movies about it, right?
Maybe.
You haven't seen the movies?
I haven't seen any.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get to the whiskey. So the whiskey I've selected, clearly we're doing bottled and bond. Give me one thing that makes a whiskey bottled and bond. Actually, no. Give me 2. You've been around long enough. You should be able to give me 2 things that make a whiskey bottled and bond.
It's bottled and bonded. Both.
So just for that, you're going to get some charcoal. All right, that's a. Come on, seriously. At least the easiest thing about bottled and bond whiskey.
Doesn't it have to be barreled for? I don't remember how long.
At least
10 years. 4 years.
At least 4. At least 4.
Years?
There we go. And it is bottled at what proof?
At least 90 proof. 80 proof. I don't remember any of this stuff.
100.
100 proof.
There we go. Okay. All right. So we got a bottle.
I actually know that. I was just trying to get at you.
Yeah, we don't actually know if he's telling the truth. So today's whiskey is going to be Catoctin Creek, Rabble Rouser, bottled and bond. It's a limited release every year. I feel like they release it every year in February. And there's a rush to the website and so on and so forth because they only make so many barrels of it, which only so many barrels gives you only so many bottles. I was actually lucky enough to procure one of these. This was the 2021 version, maybe? No, 2020. I think, no, this is the 2020 version. We actually went to Catoctin Creek. No, not 2020, 2021.
Yes.
Yes.
It was still during the...
It was still, it was still pandemic time. Yeah. So 2021, so that's why I chose this one, because we visited the distillery at the same time. When are we going to ride our bikes out there? Let me just pour you a glass here while we're kibitzing a little bit.
When are you going to ride your bike at all?
I ride my bike. I just don't ride it as much as you do.
Well, if we ride out there, we're going to have to get a place to stay because I'm not riding, drinking, and riding back.
Well, if we ride out there, we're going to have to certainly do it over the course of a couple hours because, I'm not, as you love to tell everyone out there, I don't ride my bike as much as I used to, and it's going to take me, that's got to be at least a good 30 plus miles out there from here, right?
Yeah.
At least.
On the W and D, I think it is.
Yeah. All right. Well, here, L'chaim. See me throw that in there? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Totally. Hanukkah. Celebrate. We're in the middle of Hanukkah right now. I feel like, I don't know. I mean, since I don't actually celebrate Hanukkah, I don't know if today is considered day 3 or if it's night 3, because it's 8 nights and it started the night of the 18th. And so we're on the 20th now. So is this the 3rd night or the 2nd day? I have absolutely no idea.
It's the 3rd night of Hanukkah.
Yes.
For 18th the first night, the 19th and the 20th.
Well, I can count that. I just don't know if they just go by the nights, not actual days. Right. Okay.
Because the premise is that the lantern oil lasted 8 nights.
8 nights. Yeah. Yes. All right. Well, we're on the 3rd night here, so L'chaim and cheers and whatever else you say when you're drinking to good health. Do you remember anything about this?
I remember we tasted it when we were there, right?
We did not.
We did not?
Oh my goodness, dude.
You just said it was 2021. That was last year.
So long ago.
You also said that I'm a very frequent guest on this show, which would lead me to believe that I'm not going to remember a lot of this stuff.
No, Rabble Rouser is what they call everything. While we were there, we tasted the 80 proof, the 92, which is their distiller's select, and then the cask strength. And then you bought some fancy, didn't you buy some fancy mixer?
We bought the Proof Standard, or it's a local DC company though too. So
okay.
But we did come home with a bottle of the rye and one of the other ones. Not that rye.
Yeah, I came home with the cask strength. Corey found this at a liquor store, and so he bought that. I mean, I reimbursed him. He bought it for me because he knew I was looking for it. But I like a lot of Catoctin Creek stuff, because they're straight rye, and they get all their rye locally grown. Some of it down in Tappahannock. Very cool people that work out there. We met the sales rep at Chicken and Whiskey, or you met the sales rep, and then I met the sales rep later on.
And she's everywhere. So
she is everywhere. She's everywhere. She was actually unavailable to do this episode, so you're the fill-in.
Thank you.
You would just
know that before I came.
You would have just gotten another episode. Or you could have joined. Well, I probably couldn't have had 3 people because it's tight quarters here. Okay, so while I got you here, though, right? All the other guests have had to answer some holiday questions while they've been here. So, are you ready for your turn?
As long as it has nothing to do with about bottled and bonded, I'm good.
Bottled and bond, but okay. So the first question is going to be, well, you've already answered the first question. We're talking about movies. So the next question is, what is your favorite holiday beverage?
I really like eggnog, but I can only have so much, like probably 1 glass.
Yeah.
So, but it is probably my favorite. Like if someone said, I have eggnog, I would say, I would like a glass. That's my favorite.
Would you put this into eggnog?
Not this quality of a rye, but I would certainly put
you put maybe the 92 or the 80 in there.
I would certainly use a rye. A lot of people use rum, which is interesting, like a dark rum.
Yeah.
It does make it taste a little bit sweeter, but eggnog's already sweet, so it's not really something. But if you want to go like all night holiday party, directly holiday related drink, apple cider. I mean, with whiskey. It's not too sweet. It's plenty balanced with the whiskey. So, yeah.
We may have had that holiday drink here on the Whiskey Butler Advent series. Now, this next question, I see you're wearing a purple shirt today. And I mean, I don't want to get you too revved up, but I'm going to try. So if you were in charge of how college football should be at the end of the season, right? Mm-hmm. Would you have a 4-team, 8-team, 12-team, or another number playoff?
My choice is not an uncommon one, and
Okay.
It's not my own design. But I think a greater than 8-team playoff where games start at home fields of the best record holder and then move into the bowl season.
Okay.
So the bowl season
So
starts.
what about 8?
So
you say greater than 8, or like
Greater,
8 or greater?
Because I really think the issue that you have is kids trying to travel to every bowl game.
Right.
And during the holidays, maybe you got finals starting, so it becomes very difficult to build out an audience or a fan base without having them at home stadiums.
But then they depend on people like you and me who are alums who want to go to these games, and we fill out the stadiums instead of the students.
Except even alums like us can't go to all 4 potential games that your team may need to play to get to a national championship.
I mean, if my team is only going to make the college football playoff once every decade, right, then maybe I am going to every single game because I got a whole decade to save up for it.
That is true.
I mean, if I went to...
You may be the exception.
If I went to Clemson, Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia recently, where we're going all the time, maybe I don't quite have the cash flow to do that.
I just think my opinion is just that there needs to be a greater opportunity for teams that are at least top 15,
right,
to make it beyond 10 to top 10 to top 5 teams.
Sure.
Because you don't know that a team that's ranked 15 can't beat a team that's ranked 4 because
one time. Because all you got to do is play and beat them one time.
Yeah.
Not over the course of a season, but just one time.
I think the Philadelphia Phillies are a perfect example of what it takes to get to a championship without dominating an entire season. Alabama can dominate an entire season in the SEC and then lose a single game
and then
to a Coastal Carolina or a Cincinnati or a TCU, and that other team then has the opportunity.
Yeah, I mean that harkens back to the Oklahoma Boise State game, right? Where Boise State runs the Statue of Liberty play. Like, all you need is just one great game. Isn't the quarterback from that team the Dallas Cowboys offensive coordinator, or used to be? Was that Kellen Mond? Kellen Mond was on that team?
Not Kellen Mond. You're thinking Kellen Moore.
Kellen Moore. Yes, Kellen Moore.
I think that was the quarterback, yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, so we won't bore anybody with more football talk. We'll get back to the holiday stuff. What is a holiday tradition that you and your family, that you remember celebrating from when you were younger?
So, is again not unique, but something that really has always touched, or I question when other people don't do it. We would go to my mom's parents' house on Christmas Eve, and then my father's parents' house on Christmas Day. That's just the way it was every year. It never switched. And when I found out that not everybody went to one grandparent's on Christmas Eve and one grandparent's on Christmas Day, and sometimes you didn't see your grandparents, or they spent, I was like, oh, why? Like, that's what
it just seems very odd, right?
So yeah, that was just, again, not unique, not special by any means. It's just something that I always remembered was very, telling. Because I also remember very distinctively multiple times trying to stay awake in the car from my grandmother's house till we got home. So then you were awake when you were home, but rarely. And I'm pretty sure my father was driving around the block several times to make sure that we all were asleep in the car before we got home. But never could stay awake in the car on the way home. We were always asleep.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. I always get surprised by the leather tobacco taste I get when I drink Catoctin because of the rye that they use in here. It's not overpowering, but it's certainly noticeable. At least it is to me.
No, and I found as the more I've drank whiskey is that I enjoy ryes a lot easier.
Oh.
As you know, some people think that they're
super spicy and they're hot and all this other.
I mean, I think if I have a rye, I can sit and drink it all night without having like a specific reaction to it. Like, oh, these are strong. I can't have any more rye.
So I'm gonna have to find a rye that's super strong that you'll have a reaction to.
Yeah, I mean, but it has to be a quality one. You can't just like go to the store and buy like Jerry's rye from New Jersey or something like that.
No offense to anybody in New Jersey named Jerry. Okay, so last thing, if you found this in your stocking, like the wonderful stockings that we have here, right? Would you consider it to be a lump of coal, or would you consider it to be a candy cane?
Well, first, I don't see any real candy canes in that thing. I see a bunch of like, what is this?
That is a Nerds flavored candy cane.
Oh, okay.
We got Nerds flavor, we got Skittles flavor, we got Jolly Rancher flavors, and Sweet Tart flavors.
So,
and regular candy canes.
All ratings aside, if I got a bottle of whiskey or a bottle of rye in my stocking, I would always think it's a candy cane. You can't really go wrong. This one, I would certainly think is a candy cane compared to a lot of other ryes out there. I enjoy it. I agree with Wes. I enjoy Catoctin Creek a lot.
Yes.
Just in general. I'm also a very like regional loyal person.
Yeah,
so
I would agree with that.
When I see one from Maryland, when I see one from Virginia that is quality, I'm gonna lean to that, like Sagamore, things like that. So I will always lean.
You don't lean to. You live in the district. You don't lean to the district.
Oh yeah, but I'm trying to just say more regionally, like because I don't want to like.
How far does your region extend? Pennsylvania. You've already offended New Jersey, so
Mid-Atlantic, so Pennsylvania, Delaware,
okay.
Virginia, Maryland, West Virginia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I guess if you're in West Virginia, you could start creeping down to Kentucky, but that's not really that fair. So, but yeah, Mid-Atlantic, I think is what I consider regional. There's clearly a lot of good northeastern ones in New York and Vermont, but.
And there's some bad ones up there too.
Yeah, but I'm gonna stick Mid-Atlantic. So.
Okay, we're sticking to the Mid-Atlantic. So we got to vote for the candy cane, Roundstone Rye, bottled and bond from Catoctin Creek. I want to thank Josh for coming on today after a hard day. How's the new job, by the way?
That's really well.
Traveling a lot?
Traveling a lot. We'll continue to travel. I enjoy the traveling. We will be in...
So no more Airbnbs for when you travel on personal vacation because you're going to have all these hotel points.
I hope so. I'm already racking up the hotel points. I was in New Orleans in November. I'll be in, I think, California in February, Philly in January.
Well, you'll have to let me know. Well, where in California?
Sacramento.
I mean, it's not too far. It's not too far because I'll be in California.
Denver in March. Grand Rapids.
Woohoo! There's a destination for you, Grand Rapids. I mean, you got Sacramento in there too, so I actually don't know if Grand Rapids is.
Maybe Nashville. So
no, Nash Vegas is a good one.
Yeah, no, I do like Nashville, especially we'll be without Becca because she doesn't really like Nashville.
All right, so I want to thank Josh for coming on. I want to thank you for watching. Please like this video, hit us up with some comments, subscribe to the channel if you're not already a subscriber. Click the bell when you subscribe so you're always notified of the next episode, like the one coming tomorrow for day 8. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Twitter's still around, right? I think so. Okay, yeah.
Maybe.
You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram. I'm there. Just look for this wonderful mug right here. And I want to thank you for joining us and have a happy holidays.